Hey Aries, so funny. So I shuffled before on camera, did the whole reading already, and of course Mercury retrograde had the last laugh. So I am doing, the video got messed up and I had to start over. So these are the cards that came out before. Um, I should have known. But anyway, so let's talk about this new moon. So the new moon was yesterday. I like to wait until afterwards because it's a different energy. The energy before the new moon is waning and now it's waxing. The Sabian for that symbol of 16, which is where it was at 15, but you round up for the Sabians to the next one. So it's also where the sun, the moon, and Neptune were. So this is a very tight new moon because, you know, the sun and the moon in Pisces respond to Neptune, which is in Pisces. So that's like a really connected story. There's no outside players in there. The Sabian symbol for that is the flow of inspiration, which is apparent also in the cards. And this new moon is sextile both to Saturn in Capricorn and Mars in Taurus. Now, those are helping energies. They're not square, they're sextile, so that's helpful. But they're very different. You know, the Sun, Moon, Neptune, all in Pisces can feel like you're drowning sometimes. It can be extraordinarily overwhelming. Yet that process is helping you ground, right? So whatever's going on in the Pisces house, which is also in our 12th house, so it can get very intense at times. And I'll give you some ideas on how to get out of it. But it's working towards our higher good. And if you think about the Mercury retro at 29 degrees Pisces, which is widely trining the North Node, which currently is in Cancer, all of everything that's happening right now and all of the sort of thought process that you're going to go over in the next couple of weeks is all helping you plant seeds, roots, for what really makes you feel like home, right? So this is a very important time, even though it may not be very comfortable to deal with. So I had a moment last week where I got drowned in the Piscean energy, and it can suck you under really fast. All of a sudden you don't feel, particularly for an Aries, you don't feel like yourself anymore. You feel like the world hates you. You feel weak. When that happens, if that happens over the course of the next couple of weeks, I would like to advise you to go into your Mars in Taurus or into your Saturn in Cap, meaning do something, build something that takes a process. So bake cookies, cook dinner, clean your house, play with Legos, garden, you know, do things that are of the earth, that are concrete, that you can touch, that are slow. Excuse me, I have terrible allergies. Or, you know, go into the gym and lift weights. Divert some of this energy into some of this energy. And the way that you can do that is through, you know, make to-do lists. Really slow, methodical things that help build the future. But this energy is going to get you clearer, first of all, on what needs to be released in order for you to take your spot at the table. It's not even spot at the table. It's like the table is yours. So there's such different energies between what's going on over here, you know, and what's going on over here. But it's awesome, and we'll get into these in a second. And what their story is. I want to finish up a little bit with the astrology. So this new moon energy is spend some time thinking about and pay attention to what's coming to you, because this card in the reverse implies that you may already know what needs to be done. You may know what you need to release. You may have already, you've received the information that you need. You're just not paying attention to it. And you see when it's upside down, when you get the message and it's upside down, the bird is drowning, and remember, Pisces has the two signs, one that faces up and one that faces down. So you could either have the bottle going this way, or you could have the bottle going that way, which is the way it's meant to. But you see, the two blues aren't so different that this doesn't make as much sense as this does. So if you're ignoring what you need to release, this is going to be a very tough season for you. So pay attention to it. But the other advice I would give you is, what dreams do you want to build? What spiritual roots do you want to put down? What brings you closer to the divine? Your psychic abilities should be on point right now. You may find the answer through music. You may find the answer in movies. You may find the answer through healing processes. But this Mercury retrograde period is really going to get you very clear on what's getting in your way and how to release it. And that's fundamental so that you can take over. Now, this card, the release card, is this woman who's hanging out in a cemetery in the rain. Right now, that sounds scary, and it is scary because she's freaked out. But, who told her to hang out in the cemetery? Leave. And sometimes it sounds ridiculous to just let go of your past pains, because we've become so used to, like, it's a habit of having them around that they're almost comforting. But you can literally just decide that you don't want the past to bother you anymore and just let it go. And I would like you to think over these next 2 weeks, what would happen, like concretely happen in your life, if you just simply decided that what you have been holding on to, the injustices that you've received or that you've perceived over your life, if you just decided to let them go and not let them bother you anymore? The answer is not much, So have we all had horrible things happen to us? Yes. Can you change that? Absolutely not. Is holding on to them and continuing to feed them and keep them alive helpful? Also no. So this card, along with this one, tells us, imagine how much faster that boat might be going if it didn't have all those swords in it, So there are pieces, your past is weighing you down and it needs to go. You've likely been told, as I said, what needs to go. You've been given the message. You may have your head underwater, and so you're not listening to it. But you know what needs to be released, and that's where the work is. Now, this card is the card of consciousness, and it says that you are in the healing stream, which I love because that Sabian is the flow of inspiration. So these messages are so on point today. It says that if you move into this flow of that water, that things will start to move, and here we have all this different forms of water, right? Here it's coming down as rain, here sailing, here it's underwater. But you have these 3 planets in water, and we're in the flow. Don't drown in it. Let it carry you to dry land. Let it carry you to the next level of your consciousness, to you being you. Now think about it. We're going into Aries season, and these are the two most powerful fire images in the tarot. So this is what's waiting for you on the other side of this trip. But if you don't dump, sorry, that was that. You know, they're both, look at these two characters are both pointing towards here. It's like, okay, well, are you coming over? And look at what's in their hands. You know, he has here, this guy has sort of a functional tool. And these are the stressful thoughts, the things that are weighing us down. But none of the sticks in this, I know that's like not the right word, but none of the things that they're holding are of power. This one is functional. This one is weighing them down. And look at what they trade up for. You know, he's holding this wand, which is his creativity. It's his ability to flourish. It's his power. You know, this is what he commands with. And then on this one, the Emperor, which is like even a level up, holds the two symbols for life and the universe. He has the power of the universe literally sitting in his hands. As soon as he gives up this rowing oar thing, which is like what the gondoliers use, but you've got to trade in one for the other. So you have to release what you're holding on to. You have to release this old functional thing for the power of the universe. And it's all here. So these cards tell me that this is what's going to be our focus for the next 2 weeks over this, or 3 weeks over this, this period of Mercury retrograde. It may be that actually the next 2 weeks is really on building what needs to be released, and at the next full moon we might start shedding, right? So do some childhood work, understand, make a list, you know, make a list of the things that are bothering you about your childhood. Spend some time focusing on it, you know, itemize what these 6 swords are, and what all of these gravestones are. Literally put them into, you know, this is Taurus and Saturn trying to help you get clear on what's causing you to drown. So make a list of those things and really truly reflect on what would happen concretely. What would happen in your life if you just decided to let them drown, right? If you decided to let them flow off into another state of consciousness. The answer is nothing. The answer is you will be lighter and you'll be more powerful. But go through the process anyway and enjoy it. You know, it's also a way to say goodbye. Pisces season is a season of endings. So call up all these past wounds that are weighing you down and say goodbye to them for once and for all, and let them float on down out of your life. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you at the weeklies and at the next full moon reading. Take care.